Hello you guys, my name is Mercedes and today I'm going to be talking about the F.A.T city video. F.A.T stands for frustration, anxiety, and tension. These are the common things that a student with a learning disability will go through in a general classroom. In this video, I'm going to be discussing about the perception from a student with a learning disability and showing you guys some images that will stimulate your perception. I'm just going to look at the images and just tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Then I will discuss the similarities on how it relates to a student who has a learning disability. A student with a learning disability will get in trouble for something they did not know what they did wrong and thought their answer was right. It's a common misperception that happens in all classrooms with a student with a learning disability. The student will answer a question confidently and then only to get shut down by the teacher because the answer is wrong. I feel like we should give a student with a learning disability more time because that is essential for them. They do process answers and questions slower than the general classroom. The F.A.T City video offered plenty of strategies that could get through these kind of difficulties that happen in a general classroom with a student with learning disability. One thing was to kind of tell the student when you were going to ask them a question. So you pull them aside and kind of be like, when I walk to your desk, that's when I'm going to ask you a question. Or when I look at you and possibly give them like a sign and be like, that's what I'm going to ask you. So I want you to I'm going to show you a couple of photos and I want you to just tell me the first thing that comes for you or what you think the picture is actually. For the first image, if you answered something to do with death or skulls, you are wrong. The actual image is actually of a lady that's looking into the mirror and getting ready, looking like she's about to go out. For the second image, if you answered a face, you are wrong. It is the word liar. And for the last photo, if you answered a woman, you're completely wrong. It is a man playing the saxophone. And as you can see, if this was an assignment and you got all of them wrong, then you would receive an F. It's similar to a student who has a learning disability. They believe the answer that they gave was correct only to find out that it was completely wrong. It builds that frustration because it seems that everyone else in the classroom got the answer correct besides you. So you kind of build that frustration and it builds onto your anxiety because if you're getting the answer wrong constantly while everyone is getting it right, you don't want to answer the questions anymore and you feel the nerves kicking in and you're like, should I answer it? Should I not answer it? So that's what a student with a learning disability commonly experiences in a general classroom. They're always thinking their cognitive processes do not work as quick as a student with a non-learning disability. So when you're teaching a student with a learning disability, you have to make sure that you give them enough time to answer their questions. And you don't want to pressure them into feeling like they don't have enough time by saying, what is the answer? What is the answer? You think harder, think harder. What is the answer? What is the answer? Come on. You cannot do that. You have to give them time or else you're only going to build up their anxiety. So with these misconception and these pictures, it's kind of like I'm demonstrating to you guys what a student with a learning disability may feel in a classroom when everyone else in the classroom is getting the right answer. They're slowly lagging behind or constantly getting the wrong answer, but they believe it is correct. Punishing them. We must understand that a student who has a learning disability sees the world and cognitively perceives the world differently, just as we perceive the multiple photos to be different from what I was looking for. Well, that's the end of my vlog, but I kind of wanted to end on a quote that I found, well, didn't find, but heard in the video, and it was, do not dwell on what a student cannot do, but dwell on what the student can do and how to make it better. And that just reiterates that we need to create a classroom that utilizes UDL and have the student learn and engage and actively participate in something that may interest them, and that way it can build on their current skills. Nothing wrong with the student. We just have to find their strengths and build from that. And I feel like that's gonna create a better student overall. But yeah, thank you for watching my video log, and I hope you liked it. Leave a comment if you like, and yeah, have a good day.